Well, this is an important, what we call Managing for Climate workshop. But it's part of the Northern Australian Climate Program project, which focuses on the red meat industry in Northern Australia and making the forecasts that are coming out from various parts of the world, but particularly in Australia, the Bureau of Meteorology and other places, to be much more focused on the needs of producers in this part of the world.
It was really good today to introduce people to new concepts. So there's a climate phenomena that impacts this region. So introducing the Madden-Julian oscillation, so these intra-seasonal climate drivers, talking about phases of El Nino Southern Oscillation, the Indian Ocean dipole, and putting all these things together when talking about the lack of a role in these floods in February.
Generally speaking, most people don't know about the Madden-Julian oscillation, and it's actually a really important climate driver for this region. It's a bit different from the more commonly known like El Nino Southern Oscillation, which generally starts at sort of spring or summer and lasts for a number of seasons. The MJO is different in that it actually comes around once every 40 days or so, and it only lasts for about 5 days, but it can bring rainfall or else it can bring clear conditions, and it actually impacts sort of when the monsoon is active and not active, and it can also impact when the monsoon starts. So those things are really relevant for the producers in this area.
Also talking about some of the products that are available to producers, showing them that we have these products available. It allows them to see these forecasts and be able to interpret them and understand why did our model make a particular forecast, why did it underestimate the rainfall for this event. So it just gives people an idea of how well our model performs in terms of prediction, and also allows them to compare those forecasts, those predictions to other international seasonal prediction models.
So we have this great handout that shows all the rain for each month from 1950 to present, and it also shows average rainfall and median rainfall, the most rainfall received and the least rainfall received. And a lot of producers like to know sort of where they're currently at. So if they know, for example, that in the past 6 months they've received 200 millimeters of rain, and normally they're supposed to get 300 or 400 millimeters. It shows them and it tells them that they're a bit behind where maybe they'd like to be or normally be at that time of year. So once they have that information about rainfall and where they're at the moment,
they're much more likely, we think, to then use the official forecasts that come out because they've got some ownership and understanding, deep understanding, have actually worked out practical examples of how all this works. But then importantly, how this actually translates to management decisions. What does it mean to have a forecast of the MJO for tactical decisions or within the season? What does it mean to have a forecast of continuing dry summer for more strategic decisions?
So obviously the rainfall and to a lesser extent temperature impact pasture growth, and then that in turn influences stocking rates, which then decides how you're going to buy, sell, or possibly adjust some of your cattle, or if you need to buy hay or anything like that to get them through the season.
Workshops like these are the best way, almost the only way, of talking about seasonal climate and major issues such as drought and flood events and so on, to make all this information effective.